me tell you a story.
Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Megan, the skeptical one.
I'm Erin, the believer.
What about this beautiful weather?
It's a beautiful night. We have the windows open, so if you hear a train or a dog bark,
Or
sorry.
a spooky ghost
Ooh.
that lives outside. Do ghosts live outside?
I mean, I think ghosts live wherever. You know what I heard once?
What's that?
Everywhere you step, somebody's died there.
That is truth. Now, I can get behind that statement right there. It's almost like a genius said it once.
Yeah, weird. Speaking of genius, did you see that Stephanie and so many people were like,
Okay, simmer down. Simmer down.
shut up, Megan. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Reading.
Did you see
reading.
what I responded to Stephanie?
I saw about your response to Danny about the Braille.
Well, yeah, that's on point. Even if you're blind, you should still learn how to read Braille.
Yeah. I learned how to read. We're not starting
Just
this again.
saying.
What did you say to Stephanie? I missed it.
Oh, I just said that I'll let her side with you on this one because oftentimes I get Stephanie. And so it's got to feel good to get Stephanie ever so often.
Well, she wrote in there, I could expand if you want me to. And I'm going to say, yes, I would love for you to.
I bet you
I
will.
would love for you to. Please and thank you. Put her in her place. And then I'm going to make Kevin listen to it or read it or however you're going to give it to me.
Well, I cannot wait to hear how Kevin comes back with whatever he's going to come back with. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's a fresh start, Erin. The weather is beautiful. I mean, why you got to go there again?
No, sorry. I'm over it. I got a little glimpse of what my new life is going to be like with my awake during the day husband.
Oh, how's that?
He is a nosy neighbor.
Oh, yeah?
Him and Nora and Sophie were obsessed with whatever was happening at your house. We spent all of dinner and they were like, well, what's happening? Well, who's that walking? Well, is that there's somebody with a flashlight out there? I was like, okay, stop. Who cares? And then Nora walked to the door and Sophie's like, get back from the door. I'm like, why? Why are y'all being so weird? Nora came back a minute later. They're moving the cars into the garage.
Oh, yeah, that never happens at our house.
Okay. They were obsessed with every moment that was happening over there. I'm not exaggerating when I say it was 10 minutes. I don't know what's happening. You had a truck with a light flashing. What's going on at your house?
Well, I will say for about an hour or so, I thought, well, maybe this is it. Maybe this house is haunted.
Oh.
Lights were flickering, and it was like it was like rhythmic, but not rhythmic enough that. Well, why is that funny? Not in a sexual way, Erin.
No, I know. It's just
rhythmic, like in a way that I thought, oh, maybe like somebody's trying to send me a signal or something.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then
SOS. Please.
Yes, it was some sort of SOS. And Aaron, you're Aaron. All of my kids, like Macy James, was like, well, she didn't come up with ghost first. She overheard Miles saying ghost. And so then, of course, she comes out and she's like, Mom, it's a ghost. I'm like, oh, is it? Okay, well, tell me why you think it's a ghost. And she's like, because I saw it. I was like, oh, what does it look like? And it changed about 5 different times. First, it was a man with a beard. Then it was a woman. I don't think they had a beard that time, but with really long feet. So I don't know what seems a little creepy.
Really long feet is the last thing I thought you were going to say. I was like, hair.
No, really long feet.
Even fingers.
Yeah, again, she's 4, so I don't know what this means. At one point she said, maybe it's my squishy. I think she meant like her tall little gnome guy with long feet.
Okay.
So anyway, she was all over the board, and I'm listening, but still thinking like, well, it is a little weird in there. Like maybe this is it. And then there's a knock on the door, which was the scariest thing because nobody knocks on our door after like it's light out.
Right.
And I could tell it was like a huge guy, like very, very tall, because I could see him up in the, the very top window part of our door. Right. And I could just see his eyes like looking in. Gosh. And I was like, oh my God, James, there's like a guy, there's big guy.
That is really tall.
He was huge. And I followed up later.
That's one huge bitch.
But I like hit James. I'm like, hurry, get up. So James jumps up, and it was an electrician. And he was like, yeah, we've gotten a lot of calls about the lights flickering and the power. I was like, oh, it's not that long-legged ghost. but get on in here, you tall drink of water. I did not say that. My husband was sitting right there, but I sure did look out the window while he was working. I was like, man, that guy is big. Anyway, it's fine. I sure hope James doesn't listen to this, but there's no harm in looking. He's in my backyard. Like, what am I going to do?
I'm
look?
sorry. If my milkshake brought all the boys to the yard, I'm going to look at them.
Exactly. Or my lights flickering.
Yeah. Well,
either one. It's my yard. I get to look.
Do you think that's what she was singing about?
Sure. Her
lights flickering?
Yeah. I don't know if that's the metaphor for milkshake. Ew.
What do you think?
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like really dirty.
What? Are you thinking boobs?
Yeah, maybe. Or
I've always thought boobs.
Yeah.
Boobs aren't dirty.
I don't want to go. No, boobs aren't dirty. But when milk comes out of them, it's a little.
Oh.
I mean, it's not dirty.
It's not coming out,
gross.
but she's shaking them.
Well, if your milk shakes.
She's shaking them. It's not coming out. She's shaking them.
I don't know. Also reminds me about the time when Emily and I joked about, remember Austin Powers and the Fembots?
Yeah.
And then we're like, well, what if you got really cold? They'd be like Dippin' Dots. Anyway. Good. I'm glad that delivered. It was like, boy, that was like 20 years ago. And we laughed our butts off, but I didn't know how it would land today.
Oh, yeah. No, that's good.
Anyway, it's such a visual.
It really is.
Well, you never know. I mean, I sat down and I said, I have nothing to talk about. And here we are talking about Dippin' Dots shooting out of women's nipples.
Yeah, boy.
You never know.
Yeah. It's always fun to have a little nipple talk. It's fine.
Nothing wrong with it. So I found a new cryptid that I might put a little thought into.
Okie dokie, please explain.
By that, I mean, never in a million years would I ever think that this would be anything that's real.
Okay.
But I watched a little video.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, what? Just the question, like, what if?
Yeah.
Okay. Mermaids.
Oh.
What if?
Did you watch the video of that guy who is in the water? I mean, that would make sense. Like the sailor.
He's on the boat, and on both sides of him.
Yes.
It's like something is going super fast.
Yep.
Yes. And then all of a sudden he hears like singing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
It's
weird.
really weird. Listen, you know I'm weird about cryptids.
Yeah.
My problem is he's got a couple videos like that. And I'm
so like how many
how many
much
times
luck?
do you see a mermaid?
Is it always in the ocean though?
Yeah.
Well, but
and
if
he's
you
a sailor.
sail, that's what I'm saying. If you're sailing all the time.
Yeah, his odds are going up. And then maybe there's like one that really likes him.
I mean, he was kind of cute. That neck tattoo.
Not bad looking.
I mean, I'd look at him. I'd sing to him.
Well,
what is going on?
That would scare him
It's
away.
like spring fever. It would.
Just kidding.
It definitely would scare him away. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm not even going to fight you on that one. Oh my gosh. What was it that Miles has been really, really into Stevie Wonder right now because apparently you all are learning that in school.
Yeah.
Which is great. Learning about Stevie Wonder in school, which is great. But I keep trying to sing and I'm not going to do it right now, but I just called to say, I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is only Stevie Wonder can sing that song on key. That is what I've decided because I keep trying and then I'll hear Miles and he's trying and we are just as equally off key and horrible at it. And then I'm like, that's like embarrassing. I never get embarrassed about singing because I just can't do it, but it's so bad. It's a little embarrassing.
Well, Miles has one volume and everything he says, is so projected that like, I just think like he's always been so muscly. Like he's always such a little, like one big muscle. Like I'm like, your core is so strong because everything you says, I mean, it is so loud. And like, we'll be in art class and I moved him close to me because I needed to.
Yeah. Like, telling my kids' behavior on here.
I'm like, okay, guys, remember we're at a quiet table talk and I'll watch him and he tries, but he even whispers projective, like he's like, what I need to do. And I'm like, honey, just
you can't.
Just relax your
Can't
stomach.
do it.
Just relax your stomach and talk. It's so weird. So I'm sure his singing is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, and he gets his pitch from me. So, it's like we're, loud and very off key.
Really, if you could like really train it to have him have a really nice voice, then he would be a showstopper.
Well, really, if you could train him. I can't train him.
I can't train him. I don't even like music. It's not going to happen with me.
It ain't me. I'm telling you that. But anyway, Stevie Wonder. We both sing it off key. It's a lovely moment, but it's horrible. I don't even know why we're talking about Stevie Wonder.
For a minute, I was like, wait a minute. Where are we talking about cryptids? Who's the cryptid? Oh, mermaids. The singing
True.
cryptids.
How did we get to Stevie Wonder?
Because I said you'd sing to him and it would scare him off, all that jazz.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're so funny. Well, anyway.
Oh, so funny. Anyway.
So funny. Anyway. No, but I thought that ocean,
Yeah.
like there are few and far things between. There are few things between far and
That's it.
it's few and far between. Is that it? It's few and far between.
I don't know anymore. I have no idea.
Oh gosh. Okay. Anyway, you could pretty much tell me anything lives in that ocean, and I would say, "Oh, I believe it."
Yeah, the ocean is scary. Like, I love it.
It's so vast.
It's so big,
so
and
enormous.
like how much have we explored?
Like the smallest percentage.
It's like when people say that thing about your brain, where it's like you only use 10% of your brain. I'm like, then what's the other 90% doing? That's how I feel about the ocean. I'm like, why? Why is it there then?
Yeah, like what's the point? And when something is going that fast, it is swimming as fast as that boat was going. That boat was going super fast.
Right.
So that to me is like, it's calculated, it's keeping up right with. But do I think that it looks like an actual like aerial mermaid? No.
Okay.
And I think it's probably something way scarier, but
like a Harry Potter mermaid.
well, I have no idea what that is, but looks kind of human-like.
Yeah.
Like maybe even has some arm tentacles that look kind of like arms. So when it's swimming, it looks like a human swimming. But imagine how fast it's swimming.
Right. Ooh.
Oh, crazy.
Do you know that they are pretty sure that old sailors...
Harry Potter's real?
Yeah. That old sailors were referencing, like they would get manatees. They would see manatees swimming.
Yep. And I've heard that. There's no way this was a manatee.
No, that wasn't a manatee. But their little legs, like manatee... Like, have you ever seen why they...
Yes.
It's so convincing. They're little, like... It looks like they have knees. It looks like they've got legs in a manatee
in
suit.
a little sack or something.
So like, what if they are in there and then they're like, oh, be a manatee, and then they're like, ooh, hot sailor.
Very calculated. Ooh, he's got a neck tattoo. Sing extra good. Ready, girls? And then they all come out of their manatees. What happens to their like manatee sacks?
It probably gross. It probably like folds over and becomes the outside of their tail.
Oh my gosh, that's magnificent.
I know. I think I
wish I could make
it.
my manatee sack do that.
Could that be our title?
Just manatee sack.
Manatee sack, or my manatee sack brings all the boys to the yard.
I really feel like it wouldn't. I feel like it would do the opposite. There'd be a lot of running away and covering eyes, and some sad things would happen.
Yikes.
Oh, good grief. Boy, we are just on it tonight. We're all over the board.
We are all over the board. I don't know if "on it" is the right phrase. We are all
We're
over.
on one. We're on one.
Yes,
There,
for
that's
sure.
a better way.
Okay, so I'm going to read a story from Lexi.
Hi, Lexi.
It says, so it was back in 2021. My grandpa had passed in 2019. For some context, we were very, very close. The man had kind of raised me and was my best friend growing up.
That's sweet.
He had dementia and his health declined, and he passed very suddenly. I didn't get to see him before he passed, but that's a different story. In late 2021, I had started working at Amazon, 5 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. It was my first week, and I had just gotten home from work and walked inside to greet my dad, thinking he was in the lounge chair waiting for me. I walked past and turned on the light, and there was no one there, but the chair was rocking back and forth. I checked to see if my dog had maybe done her little disappearing act. So I checked my dad's room, and lo and behold, not only was she under his covers, but his door was firmly shut. This continued every night that I worked at Amazon, and every night during my next job, which was night shift at my donut shop. I'd like to think my grandpa was watching over me and waiting for me to get home safe, as he would often in life.
What a sweet story.
I know. Plus, when you're like working night shift, it's
yeah.
good to come home to somebody, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if it's a ghost. Okay, and then I'm going to read her second story.
Okay.
When I was in high school, I was in choir camp, and one summer during this camp, I woke up in my hotel room and kept feeling like something was pressing down on my chest. So I would try to go back to sleep, and it just wouldn't go away. So it was probably 5 a.m, and I opened my eyes, and there was this demon-looking grizzly face thing hovering over me. Oh my gosh. I couldn't even tell if it was female or a male. It was so disfigured. So obviously I screamed because I think someone's broken into my room. Well, my leader comes running in, and there's no one else there. No windows open, no evidence of anyone else being in the room. My leader pulled me aside later and asked if I was talking about the shadow in the corner of the room.
What?
And I was like, what shadow? And obviously freaking out at this point. So we both saw something, but whether it was the same, I will never know.
Ew, creepy.
I'm so sorry. Why would your leader just be like, oh, girl, you're fine, but there's something in that corner over there.
Hey, how about we turn the lights on and check that out?
How about just go to sleep? I'm sure that's not what you're screaming about.
Yeah, so that's why I'm going to go sleep paralysis for the second one.
Okay, except that somebody else saw something.
Except for that she didn't, because you would turn the lights on.
Whatever. She saw something and was scared.
There's no way that, like, well, yeah, but you're going to let her go right back to sleep?
Well, she sounds like a terrible leader.
Yeah. She really should not be leading anything. Oh, my gosh. I mean, you would flip the light on and double check everything. Or if you really thought there was something scary in there, you'd be like, why don't you come sleep in my room tonight? And not let this person go back to sleep in their room.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm going to call that RA or that leader or whatever they were. Was this in college?
It was when they were in choir camp.
Even worse. I feel like choir people should be like holier than thou. Maybe they were. That's why.
Yeah. Don't acknowledge it.
Something was going on there. Anyway, she should have helped her. But if she wasn't going to help her, she should have at least said, you know, like in the moment, do you all see that? But she didn't. She just like turned the lights off, and then what? We're going to talk about it the next day?
Yeah, that's not a good leader.
No, that's
not
not
really
a good
taking
leader.
care of your.
That's a leader who, like, and if she was scared, I think she was scared of her own imagination. It was like, that's an amped up thing. You're running in there. You're trying to save somebody. They're now crying, screaming, saying they saw something. You kind of like shift your eyes around. You see something, dark shadow. I just can't imagine being like, oh my gosh, there's something there. Good night. You'll be fine. But anyway, even if she was like, I can't even say anything, I think that it was a dark shadow. She didn't even say like a shadow person. She said, was it the dark shadow?
Ugh, I don't know. But that's so weird. It's scary too.
Oh, it was a great
especially
story.
since like, okay, she had the slow build up. It's like I kept waking up feeling like I had this. And then it didn't say anything about not being able to move.
Yeah, but I still think that feeling on your chest, I think that's a symptom of sleep paralysis.
Ugh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
But again, I believe sleep paralysis can be more than just in your head.
Yeah, I know you do, and you're wrong.
Well, I'm wrong in your opinion. Well, I like that we got a sentimental story that needs no debunking. And then a spooky one.
Yeah, I do too. Both great stories, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, one because what a wonderful thing to come home to and feel like that person that you love is still there. And then the other one, I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, that's the opposite of that first feeling.
Yeah, who doesn't think that that's scary?
Right.
That's very scary. Whether it's sleep paralysis or not, terrifying.
For sure.
Okay, so my story is from Anonymous again, but we've had kind of a back and forth, and he seems to be super excited about being on the podcast, which
awesome.
I'm very excited that he's excited. And drum roll, he is from Australia.
Yay.
So another, what are they called?
Aussie.
Another Aussie. David, are you ready for this one?
Got your new best friend.
That's right. I don't know his name. Know nothing about him except for that he was like, oh, cool, a podcast. There we go. And also, he didn't say that at all. I'm ad-libbing. But he was excited. He did say some nice things about finding us. Anyway, here we go. So this story is titled, My First Night Shift.
Oh, another night shift.
We have a theme.
Like Lexi.
We have a theme. Okay. I have a pretty interesting story. Please note, when this happened, I would have probably been about 19. No idea how old Australia is now.
Oh, Australia, the person.
Yes, I'm going to call him Australia now.
Okay, I was like, what? Is that important?
No, not. I also don't know that. I definitely don't know how
idea.
old Australia is. nor do I know how old this person is writing. So,
who we're now calling Australia.
Yeah, we're going to call him Australia. Okay. Oh, here we go. I'm from Australia, and I used to work at a 24/7 rural petrol station in a small town called Barham. I'm going to guess it's Barham. Maybe Barham?
I'd say Barham.
Okay, let's go with that. It's on the Murray River, and if you don't know, there are quite a lot of spooky stories around the river.
I didn't know.
I didn't either. If you ask any local, they will have a story to tell. Anyway, when I started the job, I was told not to mind the shadows that you may see get picked up on the security camera.
Oh.
As these cameras were constantly recording, you could watch the cameras on a small TV behind the counter. I would watch it like crazy.
Yeah.
If I ever see one of those security cameras, I'm always like, what's about to happen?
Right.
Yeah. I guess eventually you kind of it will lose its luster and you just move on. My boss said that they come and go around the petrol pumps, and sometimes the lights would go out over the pumps. He said to ignore it, and if you want, you can stay in the back room until a customer walks in.
Oh, wow.
Gosh. That's like it's that creepy.
It's either the world's nicest boss or it is actually so creepy that they're like, listen, we get it.
Yeah, you just go hide.
You have to. It's too scary. I don't want you to do this, but you got to.
Yeah,
you gotta
right?
Do what you got to do.
When I asked why, what are they, in the most Aussie way possible, he goes, because they aren't customers, they aren't your friend, and fucked shit happens if you acknowledge them. I really wish I could do an Australian accent right there.
Oh, yeah. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I can only say, or nor, clear.
Yeah, you do it every time. Every time. And not well, I don't think. I don't know.
Or nor, clear.
But I'm like, fucked shit? Like, I didn't even know you put those... Fucked shit happens. Fucked shit. Who knows? I'm so sorry, Australia. Here we go. All of Australia, I'm so sorry right now. With this, I started my first... So if you acknowledge them,
Yeah.
really, really bad shit's going to happen.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Why do I want him to acknowledge it a little bit?
Oh, let's see what happens.
Okay.
With this, I started my first graveyard shift. Oh, nice. Great. Lucky for me, they had put someone else on the shift with me because I was new, but that didn't prepare me for that night.
Oh, my gosh. Very first night.
Mm-hmm. It got to be about 2 a.m. before things started to get weird. Every now and then, the fridge lights would flicker, or the radio would go on and off and in and out of static. But what was truly unsettling was watching this figure on the camera going back and forth just on the edge where the overhead lights for the pump stopped and beyond just being pitch black road.
Oh. Okay, so I need us to talk this through a little bit.
Okay.
So they're looking at the security camera. There's a light. And then just on the edge, you see the shadow going back and forth?
So yeah, imagine like a really well lit up petrol station.
Sure.
We call them gas stations, but yes, like very, very lit. And then like beyond that, the camera can't see what's in the darkness.
Okay.
So you're watching some sort of like dark shadow kind of bouncing back and forth over it and then just stopping right on the edge.
Ugh, yikes. Okay.
The other worker, his name was Tony, could also see it and seemed to try to ignore it. It felt like he was trying to not seem too spooked for my sake. Bless you, Tony.
Oh.
What was
But also, he can't be like, do you see that?
yeah,
because
then
then you're acknowledging
them,
it.
fuck shit happens.
Listen, we were just talking about how to clean up vomit, and that's how I felt. Like, don't look at it. Don't look it in the eye. Don't just pretend like you're just picking up really wet laundry. I don't know. Just,
You have to you really have to trick your brain mentally when you're cleaning up vomit to not puke yourself.
yeah.
And it takes a lot of self-talk.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing what self-talk can do.
Yeah. It's true. I only gagged twice.
Yeah.
And then Nora laughed at me at 4 a.m. when I was cleaning up
it was her vomit. That's not
know.
nice.
She I saw her smirk. I was like, excuse me. She said, well, I made it off the bed, so you're welcome.
Oh, I would say. Last time one of my kids got smart aleck about me doing something for them, they now do their own laundry. Yeah, nobody wants to clean up their own puke either, kid. Watch it. What was strange was that when car headlights shone onto the road where the figure was pacing, it just vanished, confirming that it wasn't physical.
Okay.
Very creepy. When the owner of the car finished filling up and came to the counter to pay, I tried my hardest not to look like I had just seen a ghost. But what the man
Literally.
said, yeah, right. But what the man said to me next just tipped me over that night. He said, Just had my first experience of a ghost car.
Oh.
I see his tall lights and then suddenly gone. Creepy shit out there on the bush tonight.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy shit on the bush tonight.
Oh, that wasn't bad.
It was like something took over me.
Wow. Was it a mermaid? Oh, an Australian mermaid.
All coming full circle.
The understatement of the year. Needless to say, I am not ashamed to admit that I quit my job after 4 days as I could not bring myself to work another night shift at that place. And still to this day, I don't know how anyone could. It was a wild experience. We fast forward a few months later, and I had gone to a mate's house. Huh, love it.
Mate.
To a mate's house. Nope, you can do it way better.
Mate.
Oh, man, how do you do that? To a mate's house for a bonfire on his parents' property. We would call this here's a word. Agatho? Gatho?
Like a gathering, but we're having a
Agatho.
gatho.
Oh, that's so cute. We would call this a gatho. I'm going to say that from now on. Aaron, you want to have a gatho? We would burn off garden waste. Okay. We would burn off garden waste.
Garden waste.
Yeah, I mean, no judgment. And sit around the fire, having a chat with a few drinks and maybe a joint to share. I love it. It was always very chill. It was mid-July, so it was quite a cold night.
Oh, yeah, because our summer and winters are swapped.
Wow, it's amazing. It's like they're on the other side of the world.
Literally.
So it was quite a cold night. I was joking, by the way. Everybody didn't know that.
That it was on the other side of the world, or that it'd be cold in July?
No, that it was on the other side of the world.
Okay.
Now, this is a small town, so it's not uncommon to know everyone, especially teenagers. So it was no surprise to see Tony from the petrol station at the gatho. I knew I had to pick this guy's brain for some context of what happened that night.
Oh.
As soon as I sat down to chat with him, we got to talking. I remember him saying, you got out of that place at the right time.
Oh.
I asked him why that was. Did something happen? He then said, one of them managed to speak. I saw the shadow pacing, but then it started to call my name.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. I remember at this point that poor Tony looked really uncomfortable, and I remember his eyes getting teary. And then he said, it sounded like my mom, but she passed away when I was like 12.
Oh.
He struggled so hard to get the next part out. Oh. It showed up every night after that, using the same voice, asking me to come outside. I quit about 2 weeks after you did because of that, and I still can't get that voice out of my head. It sounded like my mom, but it was way too sinister.
Yikes. That's so creepy.
So creepy. When he said that last part, I felt that chill that you get in your butt cheeks. Oh my gosh. Australia, I love you. Oh, I did not see that coming. Like we were like in the scariest part of whatnot. I had not pre-read this.
Yeah, butt clench. That's like your butt clench.
Yeah, but I know that exact same chill. I usually get it more so when I see someone in pain or someone get like hurt or fall and like, oh, they hit their mouth.
Yeah.
Well, instant. My butt clenches every time.
Yeah, we discussed that this week. I wonder where everybody has that feeling because mine is like the back of my legs, especially near my knees.
That's so weird to me.
Yeah, it's like it gets really tight there. And I'm like,
on the back of your knees.
Yeah, anytime I see anybody get hurt, I'm like, oh gosh, and it hurts right there. Like it didn't hurt.
Wonder why? Why is that? It's like, have we ever gotten hurt there? I got my butthole hurt so bad that I feel like, oh, wow, that's a lot of information. But no, the answer is no, I have not. Oh,
Stephanie, let us know.
Why would Stephanie?
Wait why it happens?
Hold on.
How did that your butthole?
Don't go spreading rumors. How would Stephanie know how my butthole hurts or feels? Oh my gosh. Good grief. Let's bring this back down to this scary story. Good job, Australia, for bringing up butt cheeks. Okay. When he said that last part, I felt that chill that you get in your butt cheeks. The kind that you know what you are being told is legit. I'm sorry. I keep getting tickled at like the butt cheek chill is how you know something's real. I think that's so cute. Okay, here we go. The kind that you know what you are being told is legit. Even if it wasn't a paranormal encounter, whatever Tony did hear or see really got to him. After that, a few more of us joined in the conversation. We talked about our encounters and other things we saw out in the bush. I now live in Mingen. I now live in Mingen / Brisbane. City life is completely different, but the paranormal doesn't stop. Ever since that night, I have had a huge interest in the paranormal and started to find tools for skeptical thinking. Interesting. I learned pretty quickly that most of the time, paranormal activity can definitely be explained. But I do have a few more stories of encounters I have had that I cannot explain to this day. Australia, he's got to be super hot, right?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
He's from Australia.
All right, he's from Australia. He's a skeptic.
Well, he kind of lost me there,
he just
but
keeps getting hotter. Okay. Not that you believers aren't hot. I'm just saying.
Megan's horny tonight. If you can't tell.
It is spring fever. It has sprung.
And so has she.
Oh, goodness. I have so many butthole jokes right now that I'm not going to make. But Barham will forever be the most haunted place I have ever lived. I'm convinced that this land is haunted there. I'm going back there in the winter, back to the petrol station to see if I can capture this encounter again.
Oh,
ooh.
Getting brave.
Don't acknowledge him. If you'd like to hear more of my stories, please let me know.
We are letting you know now.
Australia. Yes, please.
Absolutely. I feel like, I don't know. I'm always so much braver when it's not in an actual scary moment. Like right now, me is like, that would be so fun to work in a place that's haunted because you get to leave it. You get to go home.
Yeah.
And you could try to prove some stuff, and that would be really fun and incredible.
Yeah, but don't you believe, or do you believe, I don't know, do you believe that a ghost could follow you, or you feel like if it's haunted there, it stays there?
I don't know. I know people say that a lot, that like you don't want things to get attached and follow you home. But I feel like at least with things, I don't know, maybe not something with the petrol ghost, but like I know at Waverly people are like, oh, you don't want anything to follow you home. It's like, well, those have been there.
Yeah, why
years? Why would they come home with me?
Right. And here's a thought. Is it like is it once it follows you, it no longer lives at Waverly?
Yeah, right? That's weird.
That seems strange to me.
And if you could figure out a way to banish it, does it banish it from this earth or does it just send it back to Waverly? Like,
yeah. And how do you do that?
I don't know. So I don't know. Thinking of having something at work, like we have the little bloom ghost we talk about at school all the time. And
right.
We've had a little weird things happen in my room. So I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That doesn't scare me because I know I can leave.
Do you ever want to test it? Do you ever want to say like, okay, I'm going to put some paint here.
Oh.
Leave me a message. Would you be brave enough to do that?
I think I'd be brave enough to do that. Yeah. If anybody has a
way to test a spirit.
Yeah. I've got paint in my room. I've got chalk. I've got all kinds of stuff in my room.
Well, here's what I need you to do. Don't tell anybody else.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
When you're going to do it.
Okay.
Because a lot of people that go to Bloom listen to this podcast, and
they better not.
Well, a lot of the adults.
Yeah,
a lot of your teacher friends do. So if they listen, I will definitely use that as the debunk that they knew you were going to set them up. But also, here's the funny thing is that you always have paint and chalk and everything in your room. So what if they just start going in there and like graffitiing your room?
I would not even notice. My room is such a mess.
Well, great. How are we going to know if this ghost really is talking to you?
The ghost is like, I've literally been trying to do this for years.
I am real. I am a ghost.
Oh, man.
No, so, okay, but here's my question. What do you think that was? So forget what I think it was. What do you, do you feel like it's a ghost?
I don't know. Because that whole, using the mom's voice, that's so, manipulative and
Isn't
dark.
That a skinwalker? Is that what a skinwalker is?
Yeah, that might be a skinwalker. That sounds skinwalker territory. But if it was shadow-like, I don't know if they ever looked like a shadow. I don't know. Skinwalkers freak me out only because people are so afraid of them that I'm like, well, if you're that afraid, I'm afraid too. So I just don't know a lot about them.
I just don't. I feel like every time I ask this question, I find out what it is. And then my brain has this weird thing of not being able to hold that information.
Yeah.
When it comes to a skinwalker. Because I'm like, well, that clearly can never happen. So then I just forget.
Okay.
And I'm like, is it like a wolf that's pretending to be a person pretending to be a wolf?
I think it's like a
Or another
humanoid
person?
thing that can kind of morph
But like,
into
what
different
is
shapes.
it specifically?
It's
Is
a
it?
cryptid.
Oh, it is a cryptid.
Yeah, it's a cryptid.
There's no way. Cryptids, to me, a cryptid is like more like an animal that doesn't have.
This is like a humanoid cryptid that can change.
A humanoid. When we use that word, it makes me think way, way, way sci-fi.
Well, I feel like it's a little sci-fi, but
It-
not
well,
fiction.
okay.
Sci. It's a little.
Sci-fi. Emphasis on the fi
I
part
don't know,
of it.
but it's creepy. Just. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I do too. It makes me okay. So it really does make me wonder if there isn't some sort of, I don't know, something that's causing that shadow to happen, like something very logical as far as like a certain type of lighting that is being done, that like that certain light flickers and it makes like that shadow dance, and it's not so obvious. So for whatever reason, you just see that shadow, but it plays enough tricks on your brain, and you end up believing that this is really what this is. And then that snowballs into you actually thinking that it's mimicking something, like it's trying to get your attention. And it's almost like you've given it this power that it really doesn't possess, but your brain is like, it must be something that has control over me.
Oh, I don't know. It's so scary.
It is very scary.
And to see it on camera and to have a random customer come in.
Yeah, that part is interesting to me because they're saying like before they even came to the petrol station, right?
Or
Is that how you took it?
I took it like they were coming in.
And they saw, so like, are they kind of thinking that the shadow that they're seeing, it's like cars, like old timey cars, or like maybe pulling in and out of that edge, that right where that edge is, like it's pulling off into the edge.
Yeah, I don't know.
And maybe they saw the headlights. I would really need to sit down. I really would like to sit down to the person who saw the ghost car.
Okay, well, I think we should start by going to Australia.
Ooh, we could look there first.
Okay.
Okay, that
Deal.
sounds like a deal.
Solved.
Okay, David, here we come. Anonymous, you're going to need to tell me, at least me. I can keep you anonymous on here.
Yeah,
but
where are we going to stay? Well, I mean, come on.
Also, hi, I'm Megan. This is Erin. We have no boundaries. Once we know you, we're moving in.
That's right. I hope you've got a cot.
We are a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, and if you called me into a room and said there's a creepy demon and I saw a weird shadow, I wouldn't just let you sleep in there.
Right. I would at least go over there and go boogity, 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 boogity. There's nothing in this corner.
I wish people could have seen your boogity boogity.
But for real, I mean, I do that every night with my kids. Every night. There's a monster in here. I'm like, okay. Well, I'm really going to be very lackadaisical until one shows up one time. And I'm like, holy shit, there's my butthole clenching again.
Oh, it must be true. Yeah, I don't know. I love that feeling of being so scared, but I couldn't last in it for long, so I probably wouldn't stay at that job very long.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never worked anywhere that's haunted. Imagine that.
It's very convenient of you.
Yeah, it is.
Well, all right. You ready to give us a fan
Wrap this
favorite?
up. Gosh, I've never been more ready for anything in my life. I'm just kidding.
Tell us how you really feel.
I kid. But yes, I do have a fan favorite tonight. All right. Tonight's fan favorite is none other than the lovely Mandy.
All right. Hey, Mandy.
Hello, Mandy. Mandy has been very present on Facebook lately and just in general, showing her support for us. So I asked her to be our fan favorite, and she said, "Thank you so much. I love the pod. You and Erin get me through my work days.
Aw.
So I would really like to bring some attention to the nonprofit, the Wellman Project. As you well know, many teachers pay for their own classroom supplies."
What?
Yes, we do. The Wellman Project works with local businesses to use surplus materials to fill their warehouse with all sorts of classroom supplies instead of throwing it out.
That's awesome.
Isn't that amazing? Teachers are able to shop for free supplies, and businesses are creating less waste. That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
They offer workshops and classes throughout the year where you can make arts and crafts with upcycled materials. Thank you again. That is
so cool.
And we'll definitely shout that out on the actual Facebook page because I feel like we have a lot of educators.
Right. And what's that what do you call that type of relationship where like both are benefiting from it?
Oh yeah, like when the little bird
Symbiotic. Is that it?
Oh, I don't know, Aaron, but if you came up with that is impressive.
I think
girl.
it is.
Symbiotic. Here, let's.
Oh my gosh,
Let's ask.
You've got to find out now.
Oh, I'm gonna, because I'm like, wow, my sister's a genius. Hey Google, what does symbiotic mean? Aaron Taylor.
Oh my
I feel all
God.
that schooling is paying off.
My God, I've never felt so smart.
Look at that.
I kept thinking,
here I was thinking, it's when the rhino has that little bird that sits there and eats all the little parasites off of him.
Yeah, that's a symbiotic relationship.
I mean, that's amazing.
I kept thinking copacetic. I was like, that's not right. That's not the right word. Symbiotic. Oh.
I mean,
wow.
Look, sometimes we can't pronounce harangue.
It's almost like I read so much and it's rubbing off on me.
Let's not do that. It's like you can't get away from it.
No, it really makes me mad.
It really, which is so funny because then it really just makes me want to keep poking at you. But I'll stop. I have matured. We've gotten past 12 years old.
Well, now if you guys want to know your next steps, you can go to myskepticalsister.com where you can find out how to write in a story. You can find out how to become a Patreon. You can find out our P.O. box. You can buy merch if you want to just get a sticker or a magnet. Our Patreon is $3 a month, gets you weekly bonus content, including our Am I the Asshole episode and our bonus bloopers. And guys, I just edited what's coming out on March 15th, and it is like 7 minutes long. It is a really long blooper reel. And I was cracking up. Kevin kept looking at me because he was sitting in here. I was like, we're just hilarious. It's fine. Don't look at us. Don't look away.
Look away. We're just nothing to see here.
Oh, goodness. And then it also gets you a sticker and a magnet. And then the $5 a month gets you all that, plus our monthly movie night on the third Thursday of every month.
Nice.
You can write us in directly at myskepticalsister@gmail.com. And if you don't want to commit to a monthly Patreon but want to support us, you could always check out buymeacoffee.com. And the link is in our notes, but you could also just search My Skeptical Sister. And you could rate, review, subscribe, tell your friends about us, have them write in a story, or you could write in a story. That is such a huge help. Leave us a review. All that. You know what to do. All right. Well, do you have a goodbye? Do you really?
Girl, I'm on it tonight. You act like I don't ever do this.
You have been looking at me the whole time I've been wrapping it up, and usually that's when you stop paying attention.
Yep. I feel like I'm going to say it. You're definitely going to pass judgment, but it's fine. I'm okay.
Oh, when you say goodbye?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
But
okay.
you always do, so I don't know why. It's a very predictable thing to predict.
What? Okay. We love you guys.
No worries, mate.
I didn't hate it.
It's a very Australian thing to say.
Oh, okay. Is it?
They say no worries a lot.
No worries, mate.
No worries, mate.
Yours was better than mine. Goodbye.
La 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 la.
There she is. You did it. You're so smart. Oh, but your breast's so stinky. Oh, but you're so smart.
In case that's included, that she is talking to the dog, not me. I love when she calls me smart, but she rarely talks to me like that. And my breath smells fine.
I'll be the judge of that. So I found our next...
You funny dog. And kept feeling like something was pressing down on my chest. I gotta read that again because I've ran out of breath. I woke
like
up.
Something was pressing down on your chest.
Right? Sorry.
Okay. Don't be sorry.
Don't tell me how to feel.
Do I?